1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. Okay, I think we got it. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to have you all back again. My name is Diego. As you may know, I'm the one of the administrators of the community, the person who created the Math Formula team cars for Zero Corsa. And today, I'm gonna be your commentator because we are back with Formula Student Racing. It's round 6 of the FSGP series. First of all, I have no idea if you can hear me correctly. So, if you don't mind, I will do a quick voice test real quickly. Okay, it seems like the voice test is working well. So, it's, as I say, it's great to have you all here. Hopefully, you are watching and you will enjoy today's race. Sorry for the lack of previous streams. We're working on getting all the streams, all the races streamed again, but it's taking a bit of time until we find commentators. And today I'm stepping in, as a matter of fact. So hopefully, this will start with new commentators and new races being streamed. Without further ado, we're gonna go and tune in for for practice of round six of the FSGP series. We are racing at Imola for the Emilia Romagna FSGP. As you may know, this weekend we should have Formula One should have been racing here at Imola, but due to the floods in the area, the race had to be cancelled, and it's a very unfortunate situation, of course, for the locals have who are suffering a lot and due to the floods, and it's a very unfortunate situation. We will be racing today here as it was intended for Formula One to do so, um, but yeah, we're obviously keeping our thoughts with them. Um, at the moment, this is practice, so we are just testing that all systems are working and that the stream image and quality is good. So far it looks fine, so let me know if there are any issues. It's been a while since I did one of these streams, so I will be quite rusty with the camera footage and and with the commentary. But yeah, hopefully you will enjoy the race, you will enjoy the event, and yeah, we will be streaming today's race. A little bit of lag, I must admit. I'm not sure if that's down to my internet connection or to something else. Um, but yeah. So hopefully we can. Yeah, it looks like every single car is a drifting machine. Um, but it seems like it's fine, I guess. I'm anyway, as practice is coming to an end, I will briefly show how the standings look like of the FSGP um, championship. And as you can see from the previous 5 races, um, there's only been one person winning and absolutely dominating um, each round, which is Jason Milanov. He's gone 5 out of 5 in the first 5. In Australia, he's had to start third and carve his way up the field. Um, in Miami, he had a last lap mistake which nearly costed him the win. Goose ended within a second in the end, and that was really close. So we'll be looking at that. We'll be looking at whether someone else can make it onto victory lane and take the top step of the podium. Cadillac Crafter, very bunched up between second and fifth. We have at that point we have lots of drivers, 4 drivers within 15 points. So it is wide open for P2. And even if you see the standings right now, remember this is a dropped score system. So the worst 6 results of the year will be removed from the standings. So Even if you have a bad race or two, if you have to miss a race or two, you can still fight for the championship, and that's one of the great things about this format and about this championship. Um, and if you come within the top three of this of today's race, the driver will receive one of these wonderful 3D trophies, the Emilia Romagna FSGP in Italian blue, um, very characteristic blue that you will see many sports teams, many Italian national teams um, carry. And yeah, so that's all the intro for this race. So why not join the action? We have just completed practice as we see the last drivers come to the line. Here we have Gus van Doramalen, who will come first at the end of practice. In front, ooh, big contact there with another vehicle. I didn't quite catch who that was. Oh, it was Thomas Kane. Jacob Matthews is spinning there at the end of practice. And qualifying is about to begin here at the Emilia Romagna. Um, Looking forward to this one. Let's see how it goes. We'll begin in 40 seconds. This wonderful Imola FSGP circuit. Um, we have a packed grid. 15 cars at the moment have joined already. We had a full registration, so hopefully a few more drivers are able to enter the the server and join in the race. As I'm about to just let everybody know we are indeed live. And qualifying is underway now. So Jason Milanov, Jacob Matthews, the first to go out on track. We have a spin from a driver already. So here is your championship leader. I'm not going to be using the camera. It's flickering a lot, unfortunately. Um, a bit of an issue with the fences here in this track. Now here he is, your championship leader, Jason Milanov. Going very wide there at the exit of Aqua Minerale. Um, this is still not his qualifying lap. That is about to begin. But he sure is treating that as his qualifying run. I apologize for the ping at the moment. It seems like it's now recovering. We're back again to 50 of ping, which seems to be better. Um, yeah, here, Jason Milanov, the first driver out on track that will post a qualifying lap as he enters into Tosa. San White. Let me add telemetry real quick for you. Uh, there we see the pedals. Nearly I thought we had lost connection, but thankfully that doesn't seem to be the case. As we go on board with Jason Milanov there at the exit of the final turn, you can use that the all the width there at the track. Oh, and Jason had an invalid lap, so we're gonna go real quick to watch what Brendan Pierce can do. This is his first qualifying flying lap, and it is and it wasn't a good lap. So Correira goes second. Thomas Kane goes third. Cadillac Crafter, who has already a few podiums to his name this year, goes into first place, provisional pole. But obviously the main names on this championship have still not posted a time. Metsuarat goes to the top. Sorry if I've butchered your name, but goes to the top. This is, I believe, a new member to the community, so it's great to see him competitive with a 51.9, which Cadillac immediately retakes with a 51.7. Lots of action here at the moment. Brendan Pierce goes with a 59, but Gus Van Doren with a 51.1 immediately goes to the top of the standings. Retakes pole position. Gus, who has finished second a couple of times this year already, I'm sure he will be looking for his maiden win this weekend. He seems to be on it. He really seems to be very comfortable and very I'm, I'm very in line with the track. There we see Gus, who's opening a bit of a gap to attempt a qualifying attempt. Here comes Jason Milanov, who will, I believe, now begin his a new qualifying attempt. He does have some traffic in front, so let's see what he does about it. It did hurt him a little bit, but I believe he will continue on this lap. Jason Milanov onto Aqua Minerale, taking a wide line on entry. Now an exit. Oh, big slide. Although that's more down to Ping than him going a bit wide. Big spin in front for Cadillac Crafter. Here is Jason finishing his lap. Let's see what the timer says. Is it good enough for provisional pole? It is, and it is a 50.963, the first sub 51-second lap. Oh, and Jason spins. So he does have speed, but he doesn't seem to have the consistency we've seen in other occasions. Gus will begin another lap with 3 minutes to go. He does have a bit of traffic in front, but he should be able to avoid many issues. I do think if the purple car gets out of the way, he shouldn't have any problems getting a clean lap in right now. I believe that is Cadillac Crafter in front. Oh, it's gonna hurt him a little bit, I believe. So final 2 turns for Gus van der Malen. He may even benefit here from the slipstream. That car may actually come to his advantage. It does! It does! It's a 50.9 and goes to the top by 17 thousandths of a second. So that slipstream that Cadillac Crafter gave him, I felt like maybe it could have hampered him at the beginning, but it looks like it may have been good enough for him to get Jason Milanov. However, that's a half spin and he aborts the lap immediately. That's a half spin. I believe Jason will have to do another lap. Big issues at the exit of the Villeneuve chicane entering Tosa. Very difficult complex. Here the curves, you can attack them, but you have to be super careful because if you get too greedy, they're gonna bite. So here comes Jason. He's gonna begin a new lap. I believe he's not gonna be able to improve on this one. It is not a bad lap. Despite the mistake, it's still a 51.3. And I didn't notice, but Brendan Pierce, very solid 3rd place from Brendan Pierce. As we see him just going a little bit too wide, I believe that lap may be invalidated as we speak. 1 minute remains in qualifying, and at the moment it's Gus van Doren on pole position. Milanov is in 2nd place. Ooh, a bit of a slide, but that's down to Ping, I'm afraid. Apologies for the lag issues we're seeing. My computer can simply not handle this much excitement. Ooh, a bit of a half spin in front. Here comes Jason. Is it gonna be good enough for pole? It is not. He doesn't improve. Gus did improve. and Goose is calling it a day. So Jason spins. Jason spins. So Jason will begin the race behind Goose Van Doremalen. Can Brendan Pierce do anything about it? Ignore the timer at the bottom. It has lagged a little bit. Can Brendan Pierce? Runs wide and goes into the pits. So Goose Van Doremalen will be on pole for the Imola FSGP, followed by Jason Milano. Brendan Pierce is in third. Oliver Waynert in fourth place. Welcome to the community. What a way to begin here. Cadillac Crafter is in fifth place. Winner, which, by the way, although the timer seems to have lagged. Oh my goodness, big crash from Oliver. Just taking a little bit too much curbs. But he will be in fourth place. You can be proud about that. And Silas Metz Churat, I'm really sorry, you will have to tell me how to pronounce your surname, will begin in sixth place. Then we have Hurren, Correira, Matthews, and Racer in 10th place. What a fantastic surname for a driver. So that was qualifying, and we have Gus van Doremalen on pole ahead of our championship leader. And that's how they line up before this 26 lap race is set to begin. Yep. So if you are a driver and you're listening to me, be careful. Be definitely careful on lap one. Um, Hold on, we're gonna move chat to right hand side of the screen. Uh, we're gonna keep it dark. Hopefully, we have time to do all of this on time. So, well, you see if I. Well, I really hope our safety cars get removed on time so Rafael is not hampered by this. I believe they will, so I'm not too worried about it. The race is about to begin, however. There we go. And we are racing here at Imola, and it's a good start from Gus van Doremalen. In second place, Jason Milanov. Everyone heads into turn one. It's a clean at the front. Wiener and Crafter behind in fifth place. So far, it's a clean start, and there we see Gus van Doremalen covering from Jason into Tosa. But so far, a very clean start from everybody. Beautiful to see everybody just being this clean. We see a collision behind. We have a pileup here in Tosa. But it's Rafael Oliveira, one of the drivers involved. Thankfully, they clear themselves very quickly. So we have Van Doremalen leading from Milanov. Brendan Pierce is in third place and looking to attack. Milanov covered the inside there beautifully onto Rivazza. We complete lap one on this race. And Jason Milanov is in second place. It's almost news given the level of domination we've seen from him so far. Alex Hurren right now in sixth place as Cadillac Crafter runs wide and loses 2 spots. Cadillac down to seventh as Hurren and Metz-Churat have gone through thanks to Cadillac's mistake. It's a long race, 26 laps, so you still have time to recover. Here we see the battle for fifth place. Apologies for the camera. Oh, there we see Metz-Churat going wide a little bit, but thankfully for him, he didn't lose the position to Hurren. these new surnames. I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing them. I will do my best to learn your surnames. You're new to the community, which is lovely to see. Lap number 3, Gus van der Malen, fastest lap of the race, a 50.9. That's qualifying pace in lap 2 of the race. That's unbelievable. And Jason Milanov seems to have made a mistake. Brendan Pierce is through. Brendan Pierce is through. Jason Milanov has dropped down to 3rd. And Waynard's right behind. So Jason Milanov going into the grass. He's going to lose more time there. Matthews, we see him dropping. Everything happening at this moment. We're going to briefly look at Matthews. He seems to have spun, but we tune in quickly back to this battle as Waynard had issues on the chicane over the curves. But it is Gus van Doremalen ahead of Brendan Pierce, ahead of Jason Milanov. We see Jason hugging the wall there on on the main straight, trying to get as much much of an advantage as possible. Here we see Cadillac Crafter up into 6th place. He's managed to go through Metz Jurat and recover 6th place, making up for the mistake he made before. Phillips makes a spin at the exit of Tamburello and drops another position in P12. Apologies for the synchronized drifting you just saw. That's down to Ping. Gustav van der Malen, who has opened a big gap up the front, 3 seconds in front of Brendan Pierce. Now this is going to be an exciting battle. As we see there, Jason Milanov closing the gap on the straight with the slipstream. This will be music to Goose's ears as he sees how these two will fight and lose a little bit of time. Brendan goes defensive into Tosa. The gap is really close, however. The gap is very, very close between them. And look at how quick they go through Aqua Minerale. It's such a complicated double right-hander. And onto the chicane. On the chicane, it seems like Brendan seems to have more pace than Jason. He seems to be more confident when attacking the curbs. Jason seems to struggle more in that particular part of the track. Lap 6 of the race. And Goose opening a big gap in front ahead of Jason Milanov. If we look here in 4th place, we have Oliver Waynard in 4th place, still within um, visual distance. I guess that's I will suppose that is an expression. I just made it up, but we'll say that. Anyway, Waynard can still see Milanov and Pierce. That's what I wanted to say. Follow Metz Jurat in 7th place. In 8th place, we had Mad Racer. Lovely name. I just love it. I love that name. Oh, Mad Racer attacking the curves like crazy. Within the points, Mad Racer. Antonio Correira, 9th place. Then we have Thomas Kane in 10th. And outside the points, but catching Jacob Matthews. This will be the battle for the last point. And Brendan Pierce is off. Brendan Pierce is off. Ooh, and that's a very bad point to rejoin. He does it, but he's down to 7th. We missed what happened there. I apologize for that. I just caught Brendan in trouble, and he's down into 7th place. We'll have to take a look at what happened. But Jason Milanov has now gone into 2nd place. He seems to have lost time there on that entire deal because Waynard is much closer than before. Oof, Jason really struggling here. He may have issues with tire drag, with tire degradation. But Waynard is not that far off. So this is the big story now. Brendan Pierce. Oh, and Phillips has a spin. That's the exit of that's before Aqua Minerale, sorry. But anyway, so now Waynard is on a position to get a podium on his first race on the FSGP community. That is a fantastic result if things stand as they do, but we are not even halfway through this race, so lots of things will change, that's for sure. Oliveira makes a spot on Tatrai, who has spun, and there we see Gus van der Malen approaching lapped cars. Let's see how this affects onto the race. We have seen lapped cars, how they can influence the results of the race. And Cooper Phillips, unfortunately retires from this race. A bit of a shame. Hopefully we see him in future events. Meanwhile, we look back at the battle in front. Gus van der Malen has a 7-second gap over the field, struggling a little bit with this lapped car. Oh my god, it's the lapped car! Lapped car did a half spin trying to go to the inside and collected Gus van der Malen. Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's too much damage, but that's costed Gus 3 seconds from his advantage. Here is Jason now. Oh, big slide! Saves it, however, and in the battle for the final point position, Jacob Matthews takes 10th. So that will be a point for Jacob as things stand. He had a bit of a spin, a bit of issues before in this race, so he's now making his way through the field and recovering positions. Gus van der Malen still leads 6 seconds over Jason Milanov, who this weekend doesn't seem to be comfortable with the car. He doesn't seem to be comfortable on this racetrack. After 5 wins, it looks like the streak may be over here, but still P2. It's unbelievable the level of consistency and performance Jason is able to pull every single weekend. Now he will encounter this lapped car that costed Goose 3 seconds. Let's see what this lapped car does. Goose honking. Oh, this lapped car is not getting out of the way. There may be penalties coming afterwards if he doesn't respect blue flags. Now he's on the inside, Jason. He had to earn that position, has to be said. Lots of issues there to get rid of the lapped car. That is Tatrai on 13th place at the moment. But that has costed him a few tenths. Now the rest of the field has to make his way past. We see Metzgerand, who is closing now the gap. Oof! Waynard gets through the lapped car, and it is within 2 seconds of Milanov. So there we see Hurren making his way past the lapped car. Lapped car not respecting blue flags, which is making a bit of a... It's making things complicated. There we see Crafter. Careful boys, careful boys. Crafter taking evasive action. Metzgerand is now going on the inside on Ribazza. There's a little bit of contact. No, they keep it clean and the lapped car spins. Metzgerand goes through. But Crafter has not given up yet on this battle. This is for P5 as we speak, and Brendan Pierce closing in behind. Metzgerand onto Tamburello. Beautiful overtake, and there's a spin from Hurren, so this battle suddenly becomes the battle for P4. And Pierce is all over the back of Cadillac Crafter. On to Tosa. Metzgerand goes wide. Crafter and Pierce go through. Pierce has made 2 spots within what? Within... Wait. I may have to go real quick to check if I've moved the safety car, because I'm basically sitting on my playset, so I don't know if I'm moving my car or not. Oh no, the 2 safety cars are in place. Okay, we can focus back on the battle. So this is the train for P4. Beautiful battle we have going on here. Cadillac Crafter right now leads this group, followed by Brendan Pierce, who was battling for second place early in this race until he made a mistake. We'll have to see the replay of that one post race and see what happened in that moment. But then we have Metsturat and Huren, who are definitely. Oh, there we see Cadillac Crafter losing a lot of space. He went wide. And now Brendan Pierce is all over the back. Oh, he takes the curb. Big moment here. And he's gonna have a big shot onto the main straight. Oh, runs a little bit wide. He was definitely close. He's gonna be on the slipstream as he starts closing in, closing in, closing in. On to Tamburello. There's lap traffic in front. Lap traffic getting out of the way beautifully. Great job, great sportsmanship. And the lap traffic allows the 4 cars battling here for P4 through. And this is the gap. There's nothing between them. This time, Crafter keeps it between the white lines, and it shows. It shows the little bit of a gap he opened. And then Pierce through the 2 Rivazzas. He's not as close as he was on the previous lap, so that's gonna be important to keep an eye on. But not as close as in the previous lap. Apologies for the lag. We are seeing a few issues from time to time. It's we're working on improving things, but yeah, hopefully for next round the connection is a bit more stable and things run a bit more smoothly. Meanwhile, Oliveira has passed Thomas Kane. Oliveira is now catching Matthews for the final points position, so we'll keep an eye on that for the battle for P10, which is the last position that awards points. Meanwhile, this is the battle for P4. Brendan Pierce is all over the back of Crafter, who tries to weave to break the toe. Into turn 1, Tamburello. Crafter outbroke himself. He went a little bit too deep, and Pierce nearly collects the back of him. Good driving from both of them to avoid a collision. Pierce looking way past. He's moving left, he's moving right. Being carried by Crafter. Look at how close he is. Is he gonna dive on the chicane? He wisely lifts out of it. That would have been a very risky situation for sure. The best taking opportunity obviously comes into Tamburello. If you get a good exit out of the Rivazzas, you can get a good tow, a good slipstream, and you can pull alongside into Tamburello. But Crafter seems to be dominating in that area. We see Tatrai going into the pits to avoid when being lagged. Good strategy, if you ask me. Pierce all over the back of Crafter. He seems to be looking at Tosa as an overtaking spot. So we'll keep an eye on Tosa because I think Pierce has more pace in Villeneuve. And he thinks he may have a run into there. But Pierce spins! Pierce spins! And drops down into 7th place again. Ah, oh, what a shame. He forced the issue. He went over the curves and he spun wide. Ah, oh, that's a big shame. Cadillac Crafter now has a bit of a gap over. Jason Milanov is in trouble. Jason Milanov in trouble. And that's Waynard going into 2nd place. Waynard is through into 2nd place. This is his debut race in the community in the FSGP series. And he may get a P2, a wonderful result. But now he will have to defend from the attacks of Milanov. That's no easy task. Milanov makes a mistake at the exit of Tamburello. We'll have to see the replay of that one again. It's a bit difficult to see all of the incidents that occurred. Thomas Kane letting drivers through. That's why he was shown slowly. Thomas Kane a regular in the community. Lovely to see him racing. Hopefully, in the next round, he's able to be closer to the points. He may have suffered damage and be a little bit off in that regard. Milanov goes wide at the exit of Tamburello. He's really struggling at that portion of the circuit. That's costing him time. And I didn't say anything about Goose because, to be honest, he's just pulling off one of those drives from the past where he just leads from lap one, dominates, shoots off into the distance. He's 20 seconds. For a moment, I thought we saw a spin from Wayner, but no, that was just a little bit of lag, unfortunately. And now Milanov is closing on Waynard. Waynard will have to defend 6 laps to the current championship leader, to the 2022 champion of the FSGP series. That's no easy task. This is his first race. He's leaving his mark, that's for sure. That's a name we're gonna remember. Oliver Waynard. As Milanov goes wide in Tosa. This is the rookie versus the veteran. The champion versus the newbie. And we will have 6 laps to settle it. Through Variante Alta. The try stops, may have been a spin. Again, sometimes you see the cars dart around the track, and I'm not sure if it's lag or if it is a mistake. Um, so that's why I'm being careful when saying, oh, someone spins, someone makes some mistakes, because it may not be that. Meanwhile, the battle for P4, they are posting everyone qualifying times. Everyone is so similar in terms of pace. It's so impressive to see the level we are seeing on this race. Beautiful to see. Meanwhile, Milanov has caught up to the back of Waynard. Waynard will have to find a way to keep Milanov behind, to keep the current champion behind. As Milanov goes over the curves, that's gonna cost him a few tenths. Through Variante Alta, we see Waynard weaving a little bit just to try to break the toe. This is where he needs to be careful. Crafter! Crafter in trouble! Crafter in trouble! Defending from Huren, but Metsturat has gone through. And now this is gonna be almost 3 wide as Huren tries to pull alongside. He does. Into Tamburello, they're making contact. They're side by side. Into Tamburello, there's contact. Oh my goodness. Crafter spins. Huren. Brendan Pierce goes through, but Crafter has spun. I think that will get reviewed by the stewards later. Um, Out of an unfortunate incident, that's for sure. But Matt Stewart had again a wonderful performance at the moment in 4th place. We go back to the battle for P2. And Milanov right now is there. Metsurat is gonna have to go defensive here. He does. Milanov tries to pull alongside. Toyo goes down the inside. Has to back out of it. But this is not over. Milanov with the switchback. Villeneuve chicane. That's an outrageous overtake. And Waynard goes wide. He tried to get him back into Tosa. What an overtake from Milanov. He did the switchback to perfection. Waynard did his best to defend, but Milanov was very intelligent. Oh, Waynard goes wide there. That's going to cost him a few tenths as well. Covers to P2. Milanov went into the grass. There's 2 laps to go, and this is not over. This battle is going to keep going. And Waynard is going to cover the inside once more. I think he will know this time. Milanov is going to try to switch back. Milanov around the outside. Waynard, beautiful defense this time, knows what was coming. Milanov and Villeneuve this time, it didn't quite work out. Onto Tosa! There's a contact. There's contact. I think that will get reviewed by the stewards. Milanov goes through. That will definitely be looked at by the stewards, I think. He hit the back of Waynard. As we enter the final lap, we'll see if Milanov that lets him through or not. I think he's lifting. I think he is lifting a little bit. Final lap. Vandoormalen leads, followed by Milanov and Waynard, pending that possible uh, Stewart's investigation. Waynard going wide in Tamburello. Ooh, a big mistake from Milanov. Big mistake from Milanov. Waynard, he still has a chance. He still has a chance to get him on track. We'll have to see what the stewards say about that one, but I'm sure Waynard will want to get this one on track. Gus Van Doormalen, meanwhile, has gotten his first win of the season. Dominating fashion. It's going to be 26 seconds the gap to second place. Jason Milanov is going to come home in second place. And Oliver Wainer will come home in third. And look out, in case this isn't over, look at Milanov, let him through. That's fantastic. Oliver Wainer gets second place. Milanov, being the sportsman that he is, lets him through. Mets Jurat goes fourth. Brendan Pierce is fifth. Cadillac Crafter is sixth place. Alex Hurren, seventh place. Matt Racer in eighth. Antonio Correira, ninth place. Jacob Matthews in 10th. What a race we have seen, ladies and gentlemen. What a race we have just seen. But fantastic performance from everyone. Gus Van Doormalen is your winner in dominating fashion, has to be said. That was one of the drives he used to do in the past. It was the kind of drive Gus did in 2021 when he went on to win that year's championship. A fantastic performance. We're gonna see if we can get any one of the we're gonna see if we can get an interview. So we're gonna see if we can get them um, to to leave their thoughts. But that was a fantastic race. Lots of battles. Very good racing we saw across the field. It was the kind of performance. It was the kind of race um, that makes us really enjoy this series. That was fantastic. We now have the updated standings prior to the stewards' reviews. That's very important. Obviously, we'll have to see what the stewards make out of a few incidents we saw throughout the race. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Uh, it seems like we are not able to get any interviews in for today, unfortunately. Um, so we'll leave you with very briefly with the standings. So these were the standings before the today's race. After today's race, the standings look like this. So we have Jason Milanov, 140 points in the lead, followed by Gus van der Malen, who got his first win. So first win of the year. That's Brendan Pierce in third place. Not the best of races for him, but he will surely enjoy that one. We then have Losi Losi in fourth. Cadillac Crafter is in fifth. Antonio Correa is sixth. Oliver Waynard, who just competed on his first round, got second place and is up into seventh, tied with Rafael Oliveira. And the tiebreaker obviously gives it to Waynard for having a better result. So ninth goes for Chris P, who got a podium on the race he was able to join. Hopefully, we see him again. Laszlo Stavo, I'm really sorry I just butchered your name. Is 10th, and Juan Gramaje is P11. He was able to compete in, I believe it was Jeddah, and he got P4. So hopefully, another driver who we know a lot in the community. Hopefully, we see him again. So, anyway, it seems like we are not gonna get anyone from the top three for an interview. Um, it was lovely to have you all here watching the race. I will make sure to upload the VOD, the replay of the race, right now onto YouTube, so you can watch it tonight or tomorrow. That is all from me. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you next weekend in Monaco.